Spotify and YouTube Music have changed a lot since we last compared them in 2020. I've spent the past 6 months comparing both of these services, and I'm going to break down for you what differentiates them, what features have really been worth it, and then ultimately, which one I think most people should subscribe to. First, let's look at Spotify and its advantages. The first advantage Spotify has that I would argue is actually network effects. Spotify has the largest user base out of any music service, so it's more likely that's what your friends and family are using today, which can make sharing music and creating playlists together much easier. And at the end of the year, you'll get the coveted Spotify Wrapped, a celebration of the year gone by that shows you your top artists and the things you most listen to throughout the year. It's so popular, in fact, YouTube Music copied it and actually gives you not only a recap, but a recap playlist for every season, which I actually like a lot better. Now, the second advantage Spotify has over YouTube Music is Spotify Connect. Spotify Connect allows you to control and listen to your music on different types of devices like computers, phones, smart TVs, speakers, game consoles, cars, and other devices. You can use your Spotify app on any device, including the Spotify web player, as a remote control. So say you ask your Sonos voice control on your Era 100s to play some music. The big deal with this feature is after you've done that, you can now control that music from any device that's linked to your Spotify account or on any local device on your Wi-Fi. You can choose a different song or move the music to another speaker linked to your Spotify account. No other streaming service can match the ubiquity you get with Spotify Connect, simply because Spotify is just supported on so many different types of devices. Now, the next advantage Spotify has over YouTube Music is its new DJ feature.
Hey, what's going on? I'm your DJ X. Hope you're feeling good. I know what you listen to. I see the weekend there.
Spotify rolled this feature out in 2023, and it uses an AI voice plus your Spotify listening history and all of the great recommendation text Spotify has to give you your own personal DJ. It plays the music Spotify knows you like, plus it'll mix in a couple of new things Spotify thinks you'll like, and it'll reach back into your music listening history and pull out things that you used to listen to. It's a great tool for background listening throughout the workday, and while it doesn't always know exactly what I want to listen to at any given moment, overall I found its recommendations generally to be pretty good. Now, the next thing to talk about with Spotify is music quality, and while this hasn't been released at the time of recording, Spotify has finally confirmed that hi-fi quality streaming is coming, but at an additional cost. Unlike Apple Music and Amazon Music, this now leaves YouTube Music as the only major music streaming service at the time of recording without an announced or launched higher quality music tier. Though do note, it's not like Spotify has everything in this newly announced tier either. There's been no mention that I could find of Spotify supporting Dolby Atmos at the time of recording. So for now, it looks like both of these services are still going to ignore that format. And this is the point in the video where I tell you Dolby Atmos on headphones and earbuds is mainly a gimmick that doesn't make a difference. But I can't do that anymore. Recent Atmos mixes have actually gotten pretty good when I listen to them on my AirPods Max, which I reviewed. Atmos just adds this extra layer of immersion to the music you listen to, and paired with the Era 300, which was a speaker that was built from the ground up for spatial audio, and I've got a review coming out on that speaker very soon. It can make it sound like the artist is in the room with you. That extra level of immersion for me has meant that I've felt more emotionally tied to the music that I'm listening to and more moved by it as well. So not having the Atmos format available with both of these services, at least for me, going forward, that's going to be a bigger problem. The next advantage Spotify has over YouTube Music is dedicated apps for Windows and Mac. Google continues to believe that web apps are superior to native apps for some reason, and I don't know what to tell them. They're just wrong. The Spotify app just feels more complete. It has more features, it's more polished, and if you switch from your personal YouTube account to your business one in Chrome, your music won't stop playing like it does with the YouTube Music Chrome app, which I found to be incredibly frustrating because of that. The next advantage Spotify has is, at least for students here in the US, They bundle Hulu in with the student plan at the time of recording, where YouTube Music doesn't come with anything bundled. However, there is a student plan for what's called YouTube Premium, which gets you YouTube Music plus an ad-free experience on YouTube for just $1 more a month, which is actually a pretty great deal. The last advantage Spotify has over YouTube Music, which I hinted at earlier, is the sheer number of devices that support Spotify compared to YouTube Music, like Amazon speakers, Sonos speakers, gaming consoles, and many other devices. So that's Spotify's main advantages. Now let's look at YouTube Music's, the first of which is music track availability. Because YouTube Music leans on videos uploaded to YouTube as well as the official versions of the songs, you'll find way more covers, live recordings, and indie bands on the service. A silly example of this that I've found in my own personal life is the track All I Want for Christmas Is You. A few years back, Michael Bublé and Mariah Carey actually did a duet of this song, but it doesn't exist on most streaming services because it was only recorded live for an NBC Christmas special here in the US. But thanks to those brave accounts willing to risk a copyright strike, that song is available on YouTube, and therefore it is available on YouTube Music. And if you've experienced being able to find tracks on YouTube Music that you couldn't find on any other streaming service, make sure you let me know down in the comments. Another recent addition to YouTube Music has been Algorithmic Choice. When you play a song, you can bring up the recommended tab to see what songs YouTube Music has placed in your up next queue. But importantly, you can fine-tune those recommendations with the buttons that appear. You can tune the recommendations to be more familiar to you or more slanted towards discovering new music. Giving you more choice over your recommendations is really smart on YouTube's part and just a really great user feature. And that's why I think YouTube Music's recommendations, especially in that up next queue, they're better than Spotify. Now, another advantage YouTube has over Spotify is uploading to a cloud music library. Spotify does allow you to upload music, it only stores it locally. It does not upload it to the cloud to make it accessible to listen to from your devices on the go, like YouTube Music does with their cloud library, which has a cap of 100,000 songs. Another thing I like about YouTube Music is a feature called Quick Picks. It's very prominent in YouTube Music's UI and makes it easy to jump into some music based off the song you picked. YouTube Music also recently launched another feature to help you get started listening to music faster called Radio Tuner. Your stations are based on specific artists and you can choose up to 30 of them. After picking your artists, you can adjust settings like artist variety, as well as song selection, letting YouTube Music know if you want to discover more things or keep things more familiar. And you can apply similar filters to your station that you'll see in the up next recommendations like popular, discover, deep cuts, familiar, etc. Another awesome feature you get with YouTube Music is called Offline Mixtape. This feature automatically downloads a playlist locally on your device and bases it on your recent and previous listening history. I use this feature all of the time, especially on road trips when I know I'll be in and out of cell coverage, and what's great about the feature is it's automatic. You don't have to worry about remembering to download the playlist before you hit the road or anything like that. That new song you can't get enough of, it's on there, along with your favorite songs and stuff you listened to a while ago that you still like. Another cool exclusive feature to YouTube Music is how the app handles music videos on mobile and tablet devices. It allows you to easily toggle between the audio and music video version of a song. Now, originally when YouTube Music rolled out this feature, I noticed that when I requested a song from an assistant like the Google Assistant, often it would actually play the music video version of the song and not the just standard track that I requested. But in the years since, that overall, in my experience, has been fixed. Though there is still some cross between the same account you use on YouTube, which can be somewhat annoying that they're not separate. For example, if you subscribe to an artist on YouTube Music, what you've actually done is subscribe to that artist on YouTube. You've subscribed to their YouTube channel, which I think should be separate. The last major plus I found with using YouTube Music is actually the YouTube Premium subscription bundle. If you're not a student, it's a bit more expensive, but still a great deal in my book for an ad-free YouTube experience on all devices, plus you get YouTube Music ad-free as well. So those are the things I like about both YouTube Music and Spotify. Now let's take a look at what's similar with both services. Both have free versions of their service, both have pretty similar recommendation engines, and both YouTube Music and Spotify have added a TikTok-like feature for discovering new music that you just swipe through and you get these quick snippets of different songs playing. YouTube Music has also really caught up with the amount of personalized playlists they offer, and now both services are actually pretty similar in this area. Spotify has daily mixes, a Discover mix, genre, decade, and mood mixes that are all customized to you. YouTube Music doesn't have the genre or decade mixes, but it does have daily mixes, a Discover mix, and multiple workout, focus, chill, and energy mixes. And of course, YouTube Music has that great offline mixtape, which at the time of recording Spotify does not have, but is rumored to be working on. Spotify does have one unique playlist feature though. It allows you to ignore certain playlists for your recommendations. So when you listen to those playlists, it'll be ignored by Spotify's recommendation engine. Spotify also has another new unique playlist feature called Enhance. When you click this button on a playlist that you built, you'll see Spotify input suggested songs that are related to the songs you picked on the playlist. The way you train both services to know what you like is also similar. It's based on the artists you like, what's in your library, and then a like system on both services. In Spotify, you tap the heart button when you like something, and that song or album will be added to your library and liked playlist. In YouTube Music, the same thing happens when you hit the thumbs up button, which you can also do on YouTube videos as well. YouTube Music does have a dislike button that is more prominent in its UI, and I personally think it's a bit better. So that's everything I like and dislike about these services, but which one would I generally recommend? In general, I recommend YouTube Music for most people. Its algorithms are great, and while it doesn't have that cool DJ feature, the fact you can fine-tune your recommendation algorithm plus its innovative radio tuner feature push it over Spotify in terms of its music listening experience, even when you consider Spotify's ubiquity and wider support. So that's my overall recommendation. If you think I got it wrong, or you think I got it right, let me know down in the comments. And for the speakers, headphones, and other devices that you saw me use, if you want to learn more about those, check their price, or purchase them, I've left links in the description below to all of those. Consider giving this video a thumbs up if you liked it, you found it helpful. That really helps out the channel, and subscribe to the channel and our monthly newsletter for more comparison videos for the major streaming services like I've done on Apple Music versus YouTube Music and Apple Music versus Spotify, which you can get to by clicking on the videos above. For 6 months later, I'm Josh Tedder. Thanks for watching.